What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. And I gotta say, yo. This episode's fucking amazing. 17 sacrificing himself. Yo. This is some hype shit. In fact, actually, Chuck, 17's English voice actor Chuck Huber actually came out on Twitter and said, "This is how I roll. Your fight is you fight it at your peril." Hashtag DBZ, hashtag DB Super, hashtag Android 17. Surprised you didn't throw in hashtag Toonami in there too. But hey, that was nice, cool. And of course, everyone else was like, tweeting me like another stuff like Bleach Bay was like I can't, and then I also said my own 2 cents, which we will talk about in a moment. So this episode's fucking amazing. I love this episode. This was great. It's fantastic stuff. A couple things I want to talk about before we jump right in. First off, we got some Fire Force because this episode was fantastic. I love this episode of Fire Force because, for one, I love the insults that dude was throwing at at Shinra and an Arthur. He's like, your ass is ass, or your crap is crap. Are you crappy? It's like, and he's like, I think he's trying to insult me. That's always just great, but. And there was also this other thing that we were kind of worried about will get censored. There was this bath scene, and where the girls are in the shower, and I was like, "Where are they? Oh, they get censored." It's like they did what happened with Tamaki, and when they freeze framed it. James, this whole meme that's been going on. James, James Hanson's Twitter and his Discord, his Twitch about Toonami censored, which I don't think this is actually Adult Swim. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like the ratings board or something. Because remember, Dragon Ball Super's been having a lot of problems with the whole epilepsy thing, where they would just take the footage and then just slow it down without telling them, and then it would air on Toonami. That's why we had so many problems. But since everyone was talking about it on Twitter, they fixed it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's a similar situation with here on why the Fire Force episode got censored, as well as this one kind of did, but not really. They added more white to added a smear effect and gave it more white to it, which whatever. But yeah. Anyway, one last thing before we jump right in. Now, you guys might have heard today was the hearing for Vic Mignogna's case. Yeah. Now, this is when I will tell you guys, here's a time code for you to skip to the review, and, this is when I would shoot the shit. And then, we go from there. I'm actually going to do something a little bit differently this time, because there was a video I actually recorded a couple days ago for this new news that broke for Marvel having a collaboration with Shonen Jump. And in the beginning of it, I talked a little bit more about the hearing. But when I checked out the video, when I looked at OBS, right when I was about to hit the stop record button to get the footage ready to edit it, I noticed it was 20 minutes. I was like, oof, that's too long. So instead of me just cutting that clip out and just not using it, I'm actually gonna put that clip right here for you guys that are curious to know what I think about the hearing and all the stuff going on. So anyway, guys, here's the time code for you guys that want to skip to the review, and yeah. So future me, roll the clip. Before we got this. Some major stuff dropped with the whole Vic Mignogna thing. This new article from the Dallas Morning News came out about how Vic was a no-show about what happened from the hearing, which Vic actually was not there. Apparently, I think it said somewhere right here that he had something to do in California, some public. But my God, is this the most biased article I have ever read? Now, I haven't read the whole, the one that Anime News Network did about which got this whole thing, which was one of the biggest things that got this whole Vic Mignogna kick Vic bullshit started. I didn't read that article, at least in its entirety. I read it, I watched other people talk about it like hell. But my God, all this bitch does is just talk about, Ty was unprepared, she's just so desperately trying to bury these two guys, and you can tell. But I won't lie. Actually, fuck Jamie Marchi. You guys know I still kind of like Monica. I still like her because she's good. I like her stuff. I was watching Steins Gate Zero, and she plays this little legal lolly character. She's about 21 years old. She plays her. It's just amazing. When she gets to, she's screaming at Okube. She's like, I'm a full grown woman, man. It's hilarious. I love Jamie. I'm not Jamie. Monica. I love her work. She's great as Sue. I love her work. Jamie on the other hand, fuck this bitch. I gotta say, I do like that new hair she's rocking. The short hair. I'll look great. I'll grow the gray. When I see that haircut, I just think of Carol Danvers. Anyway, but yeah, this article is just hella biased, say that he was unprepared. And I actually tweeted out, this has been the most biased article I've ever read. I was unprepared. Yeah, sure he was. Which actually, apparently he actually kind of was, because I right before I started recording this, I was watching Yellow Flash's video. He did a video on this about this last night, and apparently he actually did. What happened was that Ty didn't have the context for a lot of tweets because Jamie got thrown out. Which was surprising because Jamie was the one that we all thought was the easy one, because she actually, is threatening him. We thought that was the end. There was also Torch's interference, which I forget what Torch's interference is, but that also got thrown. Now we could get appeals to get those back. Hopefully we can't do this because we definitely need to get those. We definitely get that. The defamation whole thing with with Monica, Toy with Ron and Funimation. That's still good. They're gonna make a decision on that in the next 30 days. So it's not completely doom and gloom yet, but this definitely was definitely a hit for us with us. Hashtag I stand with victims. But don't let we can't throw in the towel just when Ty also tweet out because remember, Robert in Dragon Ball Super Broly faced off against Vegeta, got his ass beat. When he faced off against Goku, he beat Goku's ass after he finally got warmed up and, after Vegeta roughed him up a bit. So, don't worry, there's going to be an iceberg with Jamie's name on it for Victor Grinder face against. Don't worry, people. Don't worry. It's right there. It's waiting. It's going not going to move. It ain't going to melt. It's going to just sit there and wait for Jamie's face to hit it. Don't worry. Because it's going to happen, because we going to get her. We going to get her. She made it too easy with those tweets, man. But anyway, enough talk about the Victim Now stuff. I just wanted to quickly talk about that. So we start this episode off. You got Jiren charging up to unleash his, I wouldn't say his final form, but where he's starting to unleash some of his true power. So the man's like, oh, which actually, fun fact, did you guys know that actually in the dub, Jiren is actually voiced by the same guy that voices Kono Dioda! Which I actually couldn't tell at first. Because I found out because Erica Linebeck, the voice of Futaba from Persona 5, and him having a little friendly back and forth, them just playing with each other. And then I looked at his profile, read his description because I was looking to see what else he was posting, and then I found out he was the voice of Jiren. So I was like, oh, because now I can kind of hear a little bit of Dio in there, but he definitely deepens his voice a lot more than he does with Dio for his voice for Jiren, which so. Anyway, just a little fun fact I felt like throwing in there for no reason. Anyway, so Jiren's charging up, he unleashes, we see his aura, and the man is literally on fucking fire! Man look like he has the fucking Phoenix Force, boys. So then you see this heat or whatever comes charging, like, oh god, and Master Roshi or Tien or somebody was like, oh my god, if we can feel it. No, I think it was Krillin. They were like, my god, if we can feel it from here, what does it feel like for them? Because, they're all the way up in the bleachers, and, Goku, Vegeta, and 17 are all right up close and personal with him. So, and then my man Vegeta just walks out of that big ass crater he created in the last episode. He just walks out there after he was pretty much barely standing on his feet before it. He's like, so, you fight, now that all your friends are gone, you finally gotten serious. Won't change it, because I'll still claim my pride. Yeah! Goes Super Saiyan Blue, he's like, and Jiren is like, oh please boy, you can't do shit. This pisses off Vegeta. And he's like, goes Evolve Blue, he's like, don't you shrug me off, yeah! And then starts charging after them. 17 and Goku fights come charging with them, and from there they just try to, try their best to have whether it's 3-on-1 advantage against Jiren. Going at it, some of them take turns. Vegeta ends up getting in there, going a little one-on-one fight with Jiren. 17 knows that Jiren about to go for a big account. Vegeta against these rocks. Jiren, 17 just like bum. Vegeta out of the way, takes the hit from him, and Vegeta's like, stay in your lane, android. I didn't ask for your help. Yeah, and then charges towards Vegeta, and then Jiren is just like, boy, grabs him by the arm, punches him in the stomach. He lays like some massive energy, sends Vegeta back in his base form, sends him careening into some rocks. This is when Goku comes in there, does a little punch, throws out some punches, kicks before he uses the transmission to fire off a Kamehameha. Then Jiren just uppercuts that motherfucker and just has to just completely destroys the Kamehameha. That was some crazy shit there, ladies and gentlemen. So after that, everyone's like, holy shit, he broke the Kamehameha with an uppercut. He's so strong and everything. Then 17 comes out of nowhere, puts his hand on Jiren's shoulder and be like, have a grenade, Jiren. Well, actually what he did was take a Kai blast, shove it in, thrust it into his back, and then and it's like, he's trying to get it, it's like, in retrospect, blowing myself up probably wasn't the best idea. And then he sees Jiren's outfit, and there's a hole in his clothing. Nothing really in his back, but he scratched him up. He messed up some of his clothing. He's like, well, messing up your snail with that hole in your snazzy outfit makes it all more worth it. And Jiren turns around, how dare you! And from there, Him 17 moves over back with Goku and the others, so they can chalk the plan. Goku's like, I think I know what we gotta do. So what they're gonna do is just have you have Goku and Vegeta work together to fire combo attacks, wait till his guard's down, to then fire more powerful attacks than that one, so they can really do some damage to Jiren, because this shows that he can get damage, you just need to make sure his guard is down. So with that, so that's what their plan of action is. So Vegeta goes back to being Super Saiyan, goes back to evolve Blue, and I love when Vegeta says like, I will help you take out this punk. You pay for all the pain all the trouble you caused with compound interest. Holy shit, Vegeta! Holy shit! I love that line there with the compound interest. Great job there from my man Chris Sabat. Anyway, so after that, Goku and Vegeta team up to charge towards Jiren. They're fighting out. So 17's just sitting there waiting to fire on combat. So they're just going at each other and get. So then 17 finds a fight opening, fires off, and Jiren's like, "Do you really think that would work on me again?" Yeah, that. And then so then he comes charging towards 17. 17 puts on all these barriers, and Jiren just goes right through one after the next. And I like the image they show where the glass is shattering as Jiren gets closer and closer. It looked really cool. So props to Toei for that. That looked really cool. But so they're charging, trying to work together. Goku and Vegeta think like, why don't we just all three of us try to attack all at once? Which they would do. 17 fires off attacks. Goku fires off a Kamehameha, and Vegeta fires off a Final Flash. They all try to do some combo attack. Does nothing. Jiren just puts his barrier up, and he's just like, yeah, this ain't doing shit, boys. So after that, the Goku and Vegeta are sent falling to the ground, and then they can't move. Like, Goku's like, yeah, I can't believe he just took out our attack. Can't believe he withstood all our attacks. And so then the destroyer of the 11th universe, asked him, so what would you ask of do you even have a wish? What would you ask of the divine dragon? And so he was on 17. 17 says real stubborn. They just want to take his family on a cruise, which we know. And then the destroyer was like, is that supposed to be a joke? Do you see me laughing? What about you, Jiren? Do you have a wish? I do have a wish. And so then the Supreme Kai asked him, like, what's Jiren's wish? Do you know what it is? And he says, yes, I do know. And so then we get Jiren's past. This was quite interesting, because I remember when this happened in the sub. You guys know me. I wasn't watching the anime sub, but like always, I was kind of keeping tabs on it, whether or not I wanted to or not, because you guys know I follow a lot of anime episode reviewers like Forever Chibi, among others. So I saw that when this happened, everyone was talking about it, and I was like, okay, Jiren's path, okay, that should be interesting. And now we're actually here, and I gotta say, this was actually, it's kind of a cliche backstory when you really think about it, but it was interesting kind of knowing a little bit more about Jiren. So let's just jump right into it. So we see Baby Jiren, which I actually saw screenshots. This is what I saw screenshots of back when the episode was there and stuff. The rest of it I did not see. I just kind of saw images of like little baby, like kid Jiren, So he's running over to his home, say hi, it was mommy and daddy, and then they were both slaughtered by a powerful foe. And I gotta say, one thing I gotta praise the dub here, man. The dialogue that was used here from the Destroyer, from the God Destruction, from the 11th Universe was fantastic. I loved the dialogue that was used, his wording, everything. It was fantastic, man. I got really props to the dialogue. One other thing I love was, I also gotta say, I gotta give props to the guy that voices the 11th Universe. I forget his name, but my God, the dude did fantastic here. His voice just really added to this. His narration really added to this, and it just made it all that much better, at least for me, and as well as the music. The music here was great as well. So Jiren, he gets, so it's like he pretty much has Batman syndrome, essentially. His parents get killed, but he gets saved, and then is turned into a warrior, like Batman went to the League of Assassins, or the League of Shadows, whichever you prefer, whichever version we're talking about the fucking 90s series, or the Nolan movies, whatever your preference is, League of Shadows, League of Assassins, whatever. So he trained and became a strong warrior. Then the villain came back, and I gotta say, one thing I gotta say I love how in the top part of those shots, you have what's actually going on with Jiren is, fighting with, what's going on with Jiren his past, where he's like, training and everything, and then like in the bottom of the shot, you have Jiren walking with his master, and then other people join that, or the other apprentices there, and they join you. I love that shot right there, man. I gotta give props to Toei. Whoever directed this episode, man, I tip my hat to you. You did a fantastic job, good sir. This episode was just directed beautifully, if you ask me. So I love that bottom shot there with, like, you know, Jiren walking, and you got everything that, and you got all the action going over the top of the screen. I thought that was fantastic. So then we also see him, you know, when he grows up, training, which he's actually rocking a beanie too, which I found that guy because I remember, for any of you guys that remember from Neverworld, back when he was really starting to get into the music thing, like a couple years ago, like last year, you remember he went by Little Jiren in his avatar, or whatever it was with Jiren with a beanie. I thought that was some fan art. I didn't know that was actually in the show where he actually has a beanie. So that was pretty interesting to see. But anyway, so you got Jiren, their face up gets powerful, everybody got killed, including his master, tried to go in again, but everyone was like, fuck that shit, man, I'm out, deuces. So Jiren was all alone. They submitted their land to this destroyer, to this guy, and, that's that. He went to, join the Pride Troopers, and, the rest is history. Which I gotta praise the direction here. First, like I mentioned before, the walking thing within the bottom of the screen with the X at the top was great. Art animation was great over here as well. Really interesting scene. I mean, yeah, this is a pretty cliche backstory, but it is interesting just to know why Jiren is a lot like Goku, but for different reasons. Goku just wants to get stronger because he just wants to get strong. Jiren wants to get stronger, so he kind of is like Ichigo in that way. Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach. Where Ichigo, he wants to get stronger and protect his friends, so what happened to his mother never happens again. That's the whole thing about Bleach. You imbeciles that think Ichigo doesn't have a goal. He does. It's just, that's a rant for another day. I can't stand people that say, Ichigo doesn't have a goal. Yes, he does. And just because he doesn't want to become fucking Hokage doesn't mean he has a goal. Just because you can't put on a fucking t-shirt doesn't mean he doesn't have a goal. Idiots. Anyway, sorry, apologies, a little rant there. I can't stand that. Anyway, so that was great. I love the music there, and like I mentioned before, the voice acting was fantastic, and the dialogue here. And he was describing it, and he said, if I remember correctly, I believe it was that this colossal yearning of strength was, this colossal yearning for strength built on a bedrock of suffering and desolation. I love that line right there. That's just. Whoever wrote that line, now I don't know if that wasn't like that in the sub and they just translate that to English, or that was whoever had to do with the adaptation of the script. Whoever's idea that line is, you, sir, deserve a fucking raise. So anyway, and then 17. My man's 17, man. My man 17, he's like, fascinating. So that's what you want. And here I thought how a heartless machine could ever want anything. He's like, I do not trust anyone. And Jiren just like, and then actually, before the whole stuff about not trusting dragons, so he says that you just live in the past, that you don't trust anyone, but yet your comrades trust you. And so, it sounds like to me like you've just been using them just to get your own game. But then the destroyer is like, shut up! You don't know anything about it. And then so 17 keeps trash talking. This pisses off Jiren. He comes charging toward him. He's like, oh, did I just strike a nerve? So from there, he just like they fight off. Jiren just lands some hits on 17 for a bit. Then he's like, I do not trust anyone, even dragons. What I want is to bend all things to my will, including time itself. Which before he actually asked him, he would just bring his family back, have everything go back to where he was. He's like, nonsense, and just throws it. So, with the fact he's just time itself, I wouldn't be surprised that means he wants to time travel back to when he was a kid to make sure his parents actually survive. I wouldn't be surprised that's what he plans on doing. If Jiren gets his wish, which we know he's not. Let's be frank, Goku's winning. We all know this is going to happen. So from there, 17 and Jiren face off a little bit, and he fires out this huge attack. 17 comes in there to block and puts a barrier around Goku and Vegeta, who are still down for the count for the bit. So he just, and then after 18's like, no, 17, get out of there. He sacrifices himself for Goku and Vegeta. He self-destructs, and we go from there. That's pretty much the episode ends with Vegeta and Goku laying on his feet. Goku goes back on the floor. Vegeta's just kind of just struggling to stand. Jiren asks him, what you want? Do you want some more? Do you really want more? And then that's pretty much where the episode ends. They also talk about how 17 that Jiren's not gonna get eliminated because 17 self-destructed. Which one thing I actually found interesting is that somebody on my Twitter. Because they tweet out when Toonami from Toonami News, that's the same tweet that Chuck replied, that Chuck quote tweeted from about 17-year-old sacrificing himself. I said this episode is fucking amazing. And then somebody replied by the name of Aminux. He said number 17 was created to kill Goku. Today he has sacrificed his life to save him. I gotta give my man a shout out for that one, because I would not have come up with that if I didn't. I like that little nod there. Like, I know I give Toriyama a lot of shit for his writing at times, which I think is deserved. The criticism I give it is deserved most of the time, because him constantly pushing go. But when Toriyama, I don't know if this was a Toriyama thing. Maybe it was Toei themselves. Whosever idea this was to how this kind of beast where 17 ends dies. I thought that I gotta give that person its due props. Whether it was in the writing room of Toei, or this was all Toriyama, or this was all Toriyama's idea, whatever the case may be, I gotta give that person props for this, because this is really cool. This is really interesting. It's a nice little nod that just adds to this. That he was created to kill Goku back in the Android Saga, but today he has sacrificed himself to save his life. So, if I remember correctly, I'll put this link down in the description box below if you guys want to check it out, like it, or follow this guy, retweet it, whatever you want to do. So, that's if I remember. So anyway, guys, I'm Andy here. Overall, I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. This episode was overall fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely loved this episode. It was amazing. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time. Also, one last thing. If I didn't say it already, my file verdict is a 10. I don't know if I said it already, but in case I didn't. But yeah. Anyway, see you guys next time.